Let me ask you this question. Would you eat this lovely stack of pancakes with just a little top coat, an icing of glyphosate? Because according to the people who make it, it's totally safe.
Roundup nor glyphosate cause cancer. There is 50 years worth of data and evidence that we re-review constantly as part of the regulatory process.
No cancer, she says, which, I mean, as the head PR person of Bayer, the largest manufacturer of glyphosate, I'm sure she's telling her truth. But is it the truth? A little history for you. In 1974, Monsanto, later acquired by Bayer, launches Roundup, their glyphosate miracle weed killer. Then in the 1990s, they introduced what they called Roundup Ready crops, which are engineered to resist glyphosate, which then led to the mass adoption of glyphosate for weed control and a massive surge in the use of glyphosate in farming. And today, approximately 60% of crops in the US have been treated with glyphosate. That's a lot of exposure, to put it mildly. But in March of 2015, IARC, which stands for the International Agency for Research on Cancer, classified glyphosate as, quote, probably carcinogenic to humans. This was based on what they call limited evidence of cancer in humans from real-world exposures that actually occurred, and sufficient evidence of cancer in experimental animals from studies of, quote, pure glyphosate.
IARC is the International Agency in the Research of Cancer, as you stated. They're affiliated with the WHO, but they are not a regulatory body. They have no authority.
I don't know if you noticed there, but they're catching on. What I mean by that is they know that since 2020, there has been this massive growing distrust of NGOs like the WHO, the globalists, as some people like to call groups like that. And the head of Bayer Crop Science Communication is seizing on that distrust. The WHO? The WHO? They have no authority. They're not a regulatory body. Why would we listen to these people? Okay, they're paying attention is all that I'll say right now. But fact is, Bayer is getting sued up the wazoo and losing. To date, there have been over 180,000 lawsuits filed related to the weed killer glyphosate, with Bayer paying out in excess of $12 billion in damages. Which is maybe why they're now looking to the Supreme Court and state legislatures to make it illegal to sue them.
The company behind the popular weed killer Roundup is again asking the U.S. Supreme Court to block lawsuits, claiming it failed to warn users about cancer.
Thus far this year, 11 states, Florida, Georgia, Idaho, Iowa, Mississippi, Missouri, Montana, Oklahoma, North Dakota, Tennessee, and Wyoming have introduced measures to curb personal injury cases involving EPA-registered pesticides, one of which is glyphosate. And in addition to seeking state legislation to eliminate these personal injury lawsuits, Bayer is also looking to the Supreme Court to put a stop to them. Quote, a favorable ruling by the Supreme Court could largely curtail this litigation, Bayer said in an April 4th statement. Because, you know, that's what people who make safe products do. They bribe, they lobby the government to make sure that you can't sue them. Dozens of members of Congress also recently sent this letter to RFK Jr., Secretary of Human Services, Brooke Rollins, the Secretary of Agriculture, and Lee Zeldin, the head of the EPA, warning about the quote-unquote dangers of overregulation. Except if you look at the key endorsers of this letter, one of which is Senator Deb Fischer of Nebraska, she just happens to be the #1 recipient of big ag money in Congress. Another senator, Chuck Grassley of Iowa, has received the, quote, generous backing of biotech, including money from companies like Bayer, Dow Chemical, DuPont, etc., etc. This is how we make decisions in this country. Whoever is paying me more, I'm more likely to take up their cause. Just how things work in America. Or this is just a stupid conspiracy theory spread by a stupid conspiracy theorist. I'll let you decide. My name is James Lee. This is the 5149 Show. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe for more.
Glyphosate in Argentina is causing increases in cancer. You can drink a whole quart of it and it won't hurt you.
You want to drink some? We have some here.
I'd be happy to, actually, but not really. But
not really.
I know it wouldn't hurt me.
If you say so, I have some glyphosate.
No, I'm not stupid.
Okay. So you.
No, but I know
so it's dangerous, right?
I know people try to commit suicide with it and fail fairly regularly.
Tell the truth.
It's not dangerous to humans. No, it's not.
So are you ready to drink one glass of glyphosate?
No, I'm not an idiot.
That's a good way to solve things.
Yeah. You're a complete jerk.